Oh. Sorry, there's a thing. I don't want to say it in the first 30 seconds of the video. Oh god, Bara 3. Oh jeez. Well, we'll see how bad this is. I ran out of water a few planets ago. Oh god. Oh, there's a video I gotta... Oh Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, there's a... last Star Citizen stream, I gotta go fucking clip a thing. Because that was, because I was like, I'm out of soda. Oh, the planet! God damn. Of course there's shit on the coast. I was like, oh, I'm out of soda. Wait, no I'm not. I take a sip and it like goes down the wrong pipe type deal, and I just have an absolute coughing fit. And Solar's on the on call, and he's just dying laughing. It was hilarious. Literally, I could not recover because I was not only coughing but laughing at the same time. These things are probably territorial. Yep. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say that, I mentioned being overhydrated, and it's a thing, like how I just was like, oh, hey, I should probably go and, you know, check my, I should probably go do some inventory management, and then I kept forgetting to do so. Oh, man. I think these guys, well, I don't know. I think they have absolutely added more creatures, but at the same time, this thing is like... Wow, okay. Anyway, a good way to know if you're overhydrated. If your pee is clear, like crystal clear, not crystal clear, but you know what I mean. But if it's clear, you're overhydrated. If it's like really dark yellow, you're not getting enough. But if it's like a cloudy sort of yellow, then you're probably good. So, you know, that's a thing to keep in mind. That one just came flying in. That was kind of crazy. One survived. Goddamn. Anyway, yeah. So I will probably go to the bathroom after this recording, and I will probably be able to... Well, if I was doing a video after this, I would be able to tell you, but I will probably not. There is a solid chance, though, if you do comment, was your pee clear, I will be like, oh, wait, shit, was it? Depends on how long it takes, though. If you ask, like, within the week, I'll probably remember. If I actually check. Dude, because I think I mentioned before, there was a comment of like, oh man, how did you avoid the toxic effect in the hidden cave? And it's like, and there was a comment on a video that was the comment, and it's like, there was no toxic effect. And I mean, like, a toxic effect is a thing that happens in this game. Kind of happening right now. But, yeah, it's, you know, like, there was no hidden cave, there was no toxic effect. What are you talking about? You are obviously a bot. Which I didn't ban them. I haven't banned them, and I should. Yeah. I was like, well, maybe we'll wait and see. Oh my god, okay. Also, because, yeah, we're gonna be here for a while. So I tried Budweiser, and I feel real bad because my mom is lovely. Well, I don't know. She is lovely. Yeah, absolutely is. I'm like, hey, could you buy me some beer? And she's like, yes, I will buy you some beer. And she bought it and was like, please drink responsibly. And like, I didn't get shit-faced, but I did drink a lot. Well, not a lot of beer. It was a 15-pack. I probably drank all of it in a week. So, like, no, a little longer than a week. But yeah, I did have a lot very quickly, but that was because, not sponsored, by the way. Good lord. But yeah, no, Budweiser, I love Budweiser. Oh, Jesus. It's real good. Real yum. And, yeah, I, to some degree, could not help myself. And it is hot. It is hot. I need to, it is hot. I just like drinking liquids, be it soda or alcoholic. And, yeah, I think I mentioned in the last session that I was like, I'm gonna try making some sodas again. And I did try that. And, at least I really hope I mentioned it, yeah. Yeah, I did that. Oh, those things look cool as shit. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I tried making some soda. I need to try more. I was going to use zest of lemon, lime, and orange. I only had one lemon, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna use the entire lemon, which is like, you steep it, and it gets, kind of juice, but it's not like, it's more orange flavored water than juice, I think. I could be wrong. But I used one orange, I used a lemon, and I used 2 limes. And I think that was my big mistake, and I think I just used too much lime, and it was So I still have, I made 2 jars of the stuff. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. let's get some yeast. Let's just, like, brew some alcohol in this. And, a quick brew turnaround, but, you know, I did that. It did make alcohol. Not a huge amount. In the same ways I would do with kvass. And you know what? It was alright. It still was too much lime. And also I think, like, I waited maybe a day. I should have waited like 2 days. But I drank all of that. That was good. I drank all of that while I was watching Dragon Ball Kai. And yeah, I don't regret that. But yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It is also a concern in my mind a little bit of, like, am I an alcoholic? I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not that crazy for beer, but, for alcohol in general. But Budweiser was just hit the spot as of recently. I would like more. But I also recognize and desperately want to be able to hold myself. You know what? I had one beer today. I had one Budweiser today. Did I even have? No, I did. Yeah, I had it when I had it when I was having dinner and when I was building, because I had dinner and built the Lego set at the same time. Yeah. And technically, yesterday I had a second beer. And, I had, like, there was a little bit left over, so I finished that off in the morning. Or when I woke up, anyway. God, I feel like okay, in my mind, I could be, like, misunderstanding social norms of alcohol very seriously right now, right? Okay, so either you know, like, oh, having multiple beers is not, I mean, of course, like, if you're a lightweight, I'm a lightweight. I mean, if you're a lightweight, you don't want to have, like, that many, like, you know, at once. But yeah, like, I don't know, drink it like 2-3 beers, maybe it's normal. Or maybe, oh god. Well, I don't think that drinking, like, if I said I drank 1 beer a day, yeah, that's fine. But I mean, I could also be like, oh god, I drink 1 beer a week, what? But that's also, I mean, that's also just more, I don't know, I guess personal culture, personal drinking culture more than anything. Which is fine. I'm definitely not, want to care too much. I don't know. I'm not one to care too much if you love or hate alcohol. Which is okay. I don't know, because, like, I'm sure I've mentioned before, but, like, just as a general sort of philosophy is that, like, self-control is very important, and it's also, like, maybe to some degree it's a thing that I really need to work on, but yeah, self-control is important, where it's just like, yeah, you gotta self-regulate yourself, because, like, well, at the end of the day, you should know what's best for you. with, you know, like, oh, I'm going to look up this knowledge, and I now know that, yeah, I should be drinking, like, 100 ounces of water. Or whatever. So, you know, and self-regulating to be like, oh my god, this is my 15th cup of water, maybe I should stop. Right? You gotta also consider that was like 9 to... oh my god. Well, yeah. Okay, 9 to 13 cups at 8 ounces a cup. That would be, I mean, what, 72 to 104? I did the math slightly earlier. Yeah, so, okay. When I think of a cup, I think of like, well, I don't know. I think they said glass of water, I might have said cup. But, whatever. What was I gonna say? What was I going to say indeed? I'm getting tired. I am definitely feeling it. Yeah. Oh, you know, I don't know. And I think, aside from... well, I don't know. If something happens, like... my foot suddenly just, like, is in an immense amount of pain. Like, I'm in recovery mode now, I'm gonna let loose a little bit. That happens. I was on a very consistent schedule of, spending, like, 5 minutes doing a workout. Like, 5-10 minutes, like, well, 5 minutes and then an additional 5 minutes of walking around while the TV dinner would cook. Come on. Didn't I pick up a bunch of 777? Yeah, whatever. I think I've just been consuming it all. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, I will say, though, the thing with the beer, I think beer is actually cheaper than soda nowadays, which is insane. And like, well, I'm gonna have this conversation with my mother that's like, hey, so I really like the Budweiser. I did kind of drink more of it than... I did go through it a little bit faster than I, you know, maybe would have liked. And the reality is that, like, you know, price per can or price per ounce, like, it is cheaper to buy the beer than soda. I would like the soda, and I'd like to try and spread out the beer more. to being like 1 per stream or something, maybe. Plus, you know, maybe 1 every once in a while, or whatever. And maybe treat it as more of a reward thing. Although, I mean, like, I don't know, the thought of doing that is also... Oh, jeez. I don't hate the idea of it. I'm just, like, thinking about rewards. Yeah, my... Well... Yeah. I know people who've talked about, like, clicker training and such. I'm like, well, I think that would be... I mean, I think... I'm not gonna say it wouldn't work on me. Maybe to some degree it would, but I'd be very conscious about it the whole time. I'm like, I don't know. But also just, like, there is that mentality. There are some mentality things about that, right? And I genuinely, like... I could just be like, oh yes, I'm only going to drink soda for streams, and that would probably be, you know, a very rewarding sort of experience. But yeah. And the beer as well. Definitely. Well. Well, I don't know. I think there is also an element, also the game loading this long is concerning. It is. Task Manager, what do you think? Starfield is still responding, so... There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I don't want to become an alcoholic. That's not what I'm trying to do. But at the same time... I do enjoy a good Budweiser. I was always like, look, I don't think I'm gonna like Bud Light because it's gonna be too weak sauce. I say as a lightweight. I do want to try Czechvar, which is like Budweiser started in actually, I don't know exactly. It started in Czechia. Although, was it Czechia or was it Czechoslovakia at the time? I'm not sure. Or was it before Czechoslovakia? I don't know. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Czechvar is apparently like, basically Czechvar is like OG Budweiser. It's a bit, I've heard that it's better, but you know, that's also subjective. So, you know, I don't want to, let's not be too crazy with making wild accusations and assumptions, but... And there were also other beers that I was recommended, hey, you should try this out. So, anyway. Yeah, that's, the crazy thing is... Well, I don't know. I will say that, you know, I've been saying for a few recording sessions here, oh, I'm expecting my numbers to go down. I think technically they have, but, like, not that much, you know? Like, oh, like, I think I might be sitting at, like, the 28 days is, like, 1.9k instead of 2k. I'm like, that doesn't bother me at all. I do think that uploading in advance, or further in advance, is good. That helps, I think. Which, I mean, like, the algorithms just have time to recognize what's going on. So, like, and chart a course, as it were. Didn't I have sparkling water? There we go. So, you know, fiber. Very nice. What was I going to say? What was I going to say? Besides that I am indeed getting EBDB. Oh, so the soda, I will do, make soda with the zest. We'll see. I guess I'm gonna I guess I'll wait on getting more mint, because I was like, we have a mint plant in the back, but it's like a wild mint, and oh. Jeez. We'll see. My, dad wanted me to, oh god. I know I talked about this in some way. He wanted me to, so we have a bunch of water bottles from a decade ago, and he's like, oh, I'm not gonna, oh, this would not be good to drink. And it's like, it's fucking water. Not only is it fucking water, like bottled water, which does have other things besides water in it, but it's water. You put it in a, well, you put it in a shed that had absolutely zero light. Like, there's, like, nothing could have grown in these. You know, like, I actually, in fact, was like, you know, this is stupid. I'm gonna drink the water. And I did drink some of the water. But it was like, okay, take it out into the backyard and fucking stab the water bottles and have them leak out. I was like, I mean, okay, whatever, that's a way to get rid of water, I guess, but... It's a way to get rid of water, but like, it's kind of a dumb thing to do. I gotta stab it more, because I completely forgot about doing that. I'm like, because it was haul an entire case of water into the backyard and stab it, and stab like 10 cases or something. I was like, this is insane. And it's like, I mean, I could have done it at a different time of day, but I did it basically like when I woke up, which is to say, like, in the afternoon when it was like peak sunlight. And it's like, this is insane. But I could do that whenever. It's not really that big of a deal. I'm trying to think if there is anything else. Mentioned the Toby pants. Gonna try and get a sewing pattern. I don't know. You know, it's also a thing. I'm sure I mentioned this whole thing with like polyester versus like synthetic fabrics versus natural fabrics. I don't know. There's a lot of things to consider there. I am not opposed to plastics existing. As long as plastics are, because like the whole plastic recycling process is something that isn't, I'm not 100% sure about it, honestly. I think like it exists. Like, yes, you can absolutely recycle plastic, but it's not as simple, not like there's not as many plastic recycling centers as you would think there would be. So they do just end up in landfills most of the time. Yeah. And like, you know, if you're doing a well, the 3D printer thing is annoying because it's like, oh, this is like a zero waste manufacturing process. And like, I mean, depending on the 3D printer, sure, but like, no, because I mean, you have like metal sintered thing, which, I mean, like, you have like, if you have a foot by foot or a cubic foot, like, you know, print chamber, you're not going to use the entire thing, or the item you're building is not going to be of the entire thing, and you're not going to necessarily use the entire, you know, thing of metal, but basically you're going to use the entire thing of metal. But I don't think, like, there will be like, oh, you're going to polish it, so there's going to be technically some waste there. One of those tree things did just pop in, but oh well. But like, you know, that's like recycling. But like with a 3D printer, like most people have nowadays, like you have the, you know, the floats, you have the rafts, the support arms. Those are all things that are, you know, going to go to waste, and especially like if you're... So, sorry. My entire point is that plastics are fine if they're like long-term things that aren't going to have that many, aren't going to be recycled that often. So, you know, furniture, guns, automobile parts, you know, electronics. In my mind, anyway, that's, like, as long as it's not, you know, you're recycling it every day, like, I understand the appeal and I understand the appeal of the water bottle, the plastic water bottle that's very, very, very lightweight. I understand that. And I understand that has a lot of, that is very beneficial in a lot of ways, and you know, but yeah, I think I would be all for a metal, like, liquid death type deal. Oh, and natural fabrics, it depends, right? But what I'm looking for, because I'm looking for it in terms of like a motorcycle jacket, I want abrasion proof things, which, you know, in all fairness, I am considering all my options. One of the reasons that, like, I want to do polyester fabric, polyester canvas, because it's from Spoonflower, hashtag not sponsored, and the like, there's recycled canvas, and that is allegedly, you know, like 90% recycled polyester, which I mean, like, if it's recycled, that's cool in my mind, right? I don't know, there's probably all sorts of about that, but Spoonflower has, you know, like, you can get this much fabric in whatever print you want, and it's just a giant library of patterns, and I'm like, that is awesome. I love that. That's amazing. And yeah, so that's what I would like to try. But I mean, like, oh, do I, like, if I want a waterproof coat that's nylon, Spoonflower doesn't have nylon. Sure, that might be something I would consider. And nylon's also abrasion resistant. Would I consider rubber? Like just, you know, latex or something else? Maybe. But that doesn't, Spoonflower doesn't have that, and you don't have, like, you're not gonna find too many, like, printed, latex things, I don't think. I'm sure you can find it. I'm sure you can do stuff yourself, but, you know. Nylon lining would be a thing. Latex lining would be hilarious, would be really silly. I mean, just working with latex and making latex furniture. Oh, sure. But latex clothes would also, I would be fine with that. Or having, like, latex, like, knee pads in the thing, or elbow pads, or, like, patches, or, you know, something like that. That would be fine. But yeah, till next time, have a good day. Great day even. Chowskis.